The courtroom was supposed to be the safest place in the building, but that illusion shattered in a single blink when an HOA Karen raised a taser at my disabled daughter. Every witness froze, every camera caught the spark, and she still had no idea she had just assaulted the child of the assistant commissioner. Before we start, tell me which country you're watching from. And remember to like and subscribe for more stories. The conflict started long before the courtroom incident. It began quietly, the way HOA trouble usually does, slipping into everyday life through petty notices and smug letters taped across the front door. My daughter always helped me around the house despite her disability, and she kept to herself. Yet the HOA president, a woman who had turned her authority into a crown she wore everywhere, decided my daughter violated her idea of perfection. She treated every rule like scripture and treated every homeowner like a suspect. My yard, my trim, my trash bin placement, even the way my daughter used her mobility scooter near the sidewalk, all became targets for her relentless policing. Most neighbors avoided her. They whispered about her temper and the way she hovered around people's homes with a camera. None of them expected things to spiral this far. The situation escalated the day my daughter's scooter slightly brushed a newly planted decorative shrub near the community walkway. It left no damage. It didn't affect anything. But for Karen, it became the perfect spark. She stormed to the HOA board claiming property destruction, negligence, and emotional harm. They believed every word, or at least pretended to, not because they cared about shrubs, but because Karen had a reputation for controlling the board behind the scenes. Soon enough, I found myself facing a formal complaint. They wanted fines, restrictions, even a safety review for my daughter's mobility device. It was unthinkable, the kind of behavior that made people question how an HOA could turn so cold. I stayed quiet. I had a job that required patience and strategy. I let the process run its course. I didn't reveal who I was or what I did for the city. I wanted to see how far they would go. The answer came swiftly. The HOA decided the case should go to a small claims hearing. They wanted a judge to force me to pay the fines. They wanted public validation. They wanted to embarrass me. And Karen arrived at the courthouse as if she were leading a royal procession. She walked in with a binder full of staged photos, an entourage of board members eager to support her, and a swagger that marked a person who believed the universe revolved around her. My daughter sat beside me, calm and composed. She understood her disability better than anyone else, and she never viewed it as a weakness. She simply wanted to get through the hearing and returned home. I kept my badge and job title quiet. I didn't want the case to hinge on who I was. I wanted the truth to be seen without influence. Karen didn't just want to win, she wanted to dominate. Throughout the hearing, she made exaggerated claims, throwing her hands around, insisting my daughter was a threat to the community, insisting the scooter was a danger, insisting she had suffered trauma from a minor brush against a shrub. The judge listened patiently, flipping through paperwork that barely held any evidence. Everything was moving toward a predictable ending. The judge seemed ready to dismiss most of her claims. Karen sensed it too. Her certainty wavered and frustration seeped in. She kept glancing at my daughter, almost blaming her presence for the weakening case. Then the moment arrived, the moment that changed everything. My daughter adjusted her position in her seat, a simple movement to ease her leg. Karen misinterpreted the motion. She stepped back sharply and muttered something under her breath. She reached into her purse and pulled out a small pink taser, the kind marketed as a personal safety tool, but still dangerous. Before anyone could react, she raised it. The room jolted, security froze, the judge stood up, the taser crackled to life. Karen aimed it at my daughter, as if a child in a mobility scooter posed some kind of threat. She lunged forward with the confidence of someone who had mistaken cruelty for authority. The taser never reached my daughter. A court officer tackled Karen before she could make full contact, but the electrodes skimmed just close enough to leave a faint mark on the armrest of the scooter. My daughter was shaken but unharmed. Karen hit the floor, shouting that she acted in self-defense, insisting she was threatened, weaving a fantasy no one believed anymore. The courthouse shifted instantly from routine hearing to criminal incident. Officers restrained her. The judge ordered immediate detention. She fought, but her words carried no weight now. The cameras mounted across the courtroom had captured everything, every tiny detail, every second of her reckless decision. Only after the chaos settled did I pull out my identification. The officers paused, recognizing the badge of the assistant commissioner. The judge's expression shifted to understanding, mixed with a subtle relief that the truth had surfaced. The entire HOA board watched in stunned silence, realizing their president had just attacked the child of the man who oversaw the police units that handled community enforcement. Karen's future unraveled quickly. Assault charges were added. A deeper investigation began. Complaints from other residents poured in overnight. Everything she had done to people over the years surfaced like debris after a storm. The board, terrified of being tied to her behavior, scrambled to distance themselves. But the evidence was too heavy. Their signatures were on her actions. Their silence had allowed her to grow bold. My daughter slowly recovered from the shock. She returned home that evening exhausted but proud of how she handled herself. She never expected to be part of something so dramatic, yet she carried herself with courage through every moment. The neighborhood changed after that. People became kinder. The intimidation disappeared. The HOA underwent a full audit. Members were replaced. Rules were rewritten. And the community finally learned what respect actually looked like. Karen became a cautionary tale, a symbol of what happens when someone lets power twist them into something unrecognizable. Her control evaporated, her reputation collapsed, and the community found peace again. Before we wrap up, let me know which country you're watching from, and make sure you like and subscribe for more stories.